Put one foot on the ground at the hip and the other one, I call this a soap dish right here, and the heel's the soap. Put that right there and wrap your feet around. I'm pushing in to the hip this way and I'm driving my hips up this way. Okay? Right there. If I'm over here and I want to keep the hip pinned down, I'm doing the same exact thing. Okay? See how I got the shin trapped underneath my armpit? I'm kind of cockeyed over. But I'm coming here and my rear end's coming off the ground. What this is doing is driving force into his hip. I'm pinning him to the earth with, at his hip. I call this Apache leg pin. Okay? The same thing I did here is what I did there is what I did up here for the reap. Also here. So leg locks. Look, just like anything else, like how many in here know arm bars pretty well? It's a silly question. Okay. So let's go over the anatomy of the arm bar real quick, just to help you understand what I'm talking about. Say I even got arm extended, right? His first release of the pressure of the arm bar is where? Shoulder, right? So if I don't have a way of hitting that shoulder, he's got that way, that's his first release, is that shoulder, right there. But if I were to come here and lock that shoulder down, it's a lot harder for him to get out of that arm bar, right? So the same concept, we want to isolate the shoulder really well in order, and that's how that's done with this, with the foot clamp in here, that works. Steve is very good at this stuff. I think he's written a couple books about it. But it's the same exact concept you're going to follow. You don't let that shoulder rise, all right? So the hip is the shoulder of the leg, okay? I'm going to first show you what I would say not to do. But you see this a lot in traditional judo, you'll see it in sambo, this position here, right? How do we escape this? Is it hard? There, you can sit up, spread the legs, you're popping them through. So I call this an open gate. This might be a quick last ditch, you're way up here, and you're really trying hard, but you're gonna get through it. The other guy, if he knows his head from his rear end, he's gonna know how to escape that. Then I see this. I see this shin in here and the heel right here. Even here, this is better than that, right? But it's still not totally effective. You're talking about pinching and all that kind of stuff. Can you escape this stuff? You'll find a way out. There's a hole. Right? So we want to have, that was one, we'll call that one gate. All right? So no gate, one gate, but we want to have two gates. Closing this off. What I'm doing is I'm creating an extension off of his hip. Right? When it comes to leg locks, what's one way of defending a leg lock?
Pulling your leg up.
No, think about it.
Oh, peel up.
Right there, and getting your own leg lock too, right? Right there. Now I'm in danger, so now I got to rethink. So my tactic in getting a leg lock is putting him in ultimate harm's way and putting myself least risk. So I protect my feet by putting them together. Before it was just simply put your feet together no matter what way, and that kind of helps. But what I've discovered is if you put one foot on the ground at the hip and the other one, I call this a soap dish right here, and the heel's the soap. Put that right there and wrap your feet around. I'm pushing in to the hip this way and I'm driving my hips up this way. Okay? Right there. If I'm over here and I want to keep the hip pinned down, I'm doing the same exact thing. Okay? See how I got the shin trapped underneath my armpit? I'm kind of cockeyed over. But I'm coming here and my rear end's coming off the ground. What this is doing is driving force into his hip. I'm pinning him to the earth with, at his hip. I call this Apache leg pin. Okay? The same thing I did here is what I did there is what I did up here for the reap. Also here. You can do it on the other side as well, which is outside double ashi. Creates a great tension right here. It's harder for him to separate my feet and for him to get things. I can go to either side and secure it, keep it down. He tries spinning this way, I push down here, I lock his hip down. If he tries to spin this way, I open my hip up My knee blocks. He can't get his leg through. If I was closed, he can come over. See that? So what this move does, what this position does, it nullifies. And what I'm looking at is right here, you can be 50-50 or outside double ashi. Okay? Over here, you'll end up rolling over, coming back and getting a heel hook. Right here. And you'll notice I use my hips a lot. But for right now, I want to go over the anatomy of this. So let's just say we're on this side for now. 50-50. Because you can both go back and forth and do this. Matter of fact, go put yourself here, like this. And I'm going to do the same thing. Put up on your hands. Now, put your both. But this is how you're going to kind of, in a way, train your balance. If I push down on this leg, see how that hips? So he's going to correct it, and he's going to push down on his side. So it's a little bit like a new version of the Indian leg wrestling. That's why I was calling it. It was like that was like an Indian leg wrestling kind of thing. I'll call it an Apache leg thing. So this is the pin. I mean, you can secure. You see it limps a little bit. It's right there on the hip.
His ankle is going like right into the top of my hip bone. It's not comfortable at all.
And if I just roll over, I didn't even put my wrist in yet. I'm just right here using my hip as my pressure point. Now I'm not arching my back. Arching. See how long it's taking? He's not even tapping yet, right? Now if I just sink everything in, I lock all this tight, and I got everything nice and feel how I filled the gap. A lot of submissions are done like this. There's a lot of holes and spaces. But what I'm teaching you to do is fill the gap. I just filled all the crevices. That takes out all the slack. Kind of like when you turn the wrist for udigarami. You know what I mean? You turn the wrist, it takes all the slack out. And then you create the submission much faster. Same thing with this. I'm actually getting a submission from here. And all I'm doing is keeping my back where it is and throwing my hips forward, like as if I just got done doing a deadlift.
It's less of a hyperextension and more of a, feels like he's ripping my foot off. Because he's got, his hip is pulling the back part of my heel, and the back part of his arm is pulling the top of my foot back. So he's literally like pulling my foot off.
So yeah, my hip is blocking right back here. Yeah. And my back and my tricep.
And the bend around it is pretty important, guys. You won't get both sides of it if you're not bending around the foot.
So if I was laying here, you guys put your hands out like this. Okay. But you see what's happening. Right. It's just like doing a deadlift. Same exact movement. Right here. That's it. Throw hips forward. That's the move. You guys want to start trying it?
Let's give it a shot.
Okay, so I'll show you a practical application of what I'm going to show you with this. Say I do an arm drag. He snaps. I'm already here. See how fast the heel looks there. I got the heel up there and spin.
Because his knees and that just makes the
and your hip spin too, right?
Yep.
And I'm coming off of this angle, and it's just, no, you're not going anywhere. So, this also works. That's from outside. The main thing I look at when I do this drop, even if this leg isn't forward, I get a great reaction. All I have to do is just bite it with my hip here. It's called a shelving in wrestling. But I've been working with this technique of shelving in any direction at any point where I might even be here and I get to here. Now I'm going to shelve them down that way, right? But what I'm looking at is what we're all going to be able to do. It's nothing complex like that. Shelving is just right here. No matter where his leg is, whether it's advanced or even retreated back, it's okay if it's retreated. You can still work your way through.
It's really similar to the Minari rope, guys.
Yeah.
Just easier.
Yeah, way easier. And then we also have situations where he's up here, right? Now, what we want to do is we can, if we're not in a position, say I'm in this angle and I want to take him this way because that's where he actually needs to fall, or he needs to fall this way. But I can't quite attack his hip right because I'd have to be this way to attack him this way. but we're here. So what I'm gonna do is, instead of stopping here, this is what I see a lot going on. You gotta leg shift, you gotta do all these extra things, you gotta get the stuff off the mat. I stand up a lot. Yeah, Derek does all the right things. But if I use this as a step ladder, so, yes. So center, boom, say I failed Tomonaga. Whoa, you know, or something went wrong. Say Sumigai Yish and I slipped off, something just went wrong, right? Hook up to here, we've all been here. This is safe right here. But this muscle right here, this abductor type thing, that's what I'm trying to use to bring him down. You see how it's not working?
He's curling around the leg again, like that.
Now I'm about to put my whole entire posterior chain into this. By coming here, shifting. Now this is what happens, look. I go up on my shoulders. First, the hip locks behind the knee. Boom, just with the hip thrust.
He's bending my knee whether I want to keep it straight or not.
And now I'm gonna drive with this. My whole left retrospinate is gonna get that control. Yeah, look. That's why I took that side. That's right. So just get to this position here, either here or here, whatever. And learn, look, I'm not perfectly cockeyed. I want to take him this way, okay? And this is weak angle right here. This foot's over there, this foot's over here. So the law tells me I want to go this way. So look, I'm going to use my body, same thing, my heel stays right on the foot. I'm going to turn a little bit, but I'm going to curl. I just did a leg curl. That was it. That felt good, right?
Same thing with the twist.
So not only does it work for pinning the hips and the leg locks, and securing the leg locks, it's a great takedown from a bailout. It works good for people who don't throw good. You know? No, seriously. I mean, your goal is to win, right? When I first started learning how to throw, I failed more than I succeeded. But I tell you what, I came up with some really cool ways to to overcome those flaws, you know, by bailing out or pulling something out of my rear end, because I was always in a bad situation. So growing up in bad situations brings ideal training conditions. So,
can you go through the whole thing just one more time,
sure.
fairly quickly, you know,
just from the back, just from the bottom.
turn it around a little bit so you get to the back. There you go. Perfect. Thank you, guys.
Okay, so if we're inside, there's all these different guards. Everybody wants to, you know, these things that, oh, I'm gonna put here, you know, he's got a worm here somewhere, he's gonna pull that, you know. I got plenty of friends, we work this game, and they don't take me down. They can't. They can daily heat me, no work. X-guard me, no work. You know, it's because it comes down to just gravity. I drop my weight, I drop my knees, I do this kind of stuff. Doesn't matter if he drops his knees on me in this technique. Go ahead, drop your knee. That's from inside, so that was a double outside ashi attack. 50-50 attack. Let's go this way.
When he's saying ashi, guys, he's meaning ashi karate?
Yep.
Okay.
Here, as long as I can get to here, see how I switch? I'm not coming here and doing all this kind of stuff. What I want is that right there, and that's, he was doing smart. He knows now, this is the one to worry about. Right here, okay. When I go this way, he can still step out. He can drop this knee right here. Doesn't have to move that foot. Be mean to me, dude. He could have just like dropped it on my knee. He could have just totally annihilated my shin there. So what we're looking for. That right there. And keeping it, securing it for a second, and then starting again. So find enough room with your partner. You know, I just go back and forth.
1, 2.
Okay, so it's the heel hook part when you're already down here.
We call it down.
Yeah. Hey, you gotta hit those down. As soon as he hits, see how it's important where I set up. I kept this like this already. Instead of like grabbing stuff and coming down, and then see the fight that comes in, I was already in position. And the way I landed, my elbow here is in between the mat and his leg. If it were not so, I wouldn't be able to get the hook on his heel. I think, let's spin this way, because you want to be able to see right here. When I land, here, see where my elbow is in conjunction? Right here. This allows me to sink that in. Now I'm letting my whole body weight, and I'm filling in all the gaps on his. You feel like I'm pinning your leg?
Yeah, his whole body weight is pinning my leg.
I'm even flexing my rib cage right now, just to fill in the gap. So now I'm gonna make sure I'm focusing on the Apache leg pin, and now I just hipped up. Anybody else see what just happened? Watch right here. See how the heel just got exposed? From here, hip up, heel's exposed. I flare out so he can't roll, and I got everything pinned down right there, and I'm just using my hips. I put my hands in place, throw my hips forward, and that's it.
Hands are for holding, guys. You're not trying to rip his ankle off with your hands.
Now, if he was really flexible and this wasn't enough, then I'm not gonna do from here because it will break. I mean, this is so wound.
It's pretty tight.
His tibia and fibula are so twisted in that position, it's pretty bad. So what it is I'm dropping back, but I'm keeping it. See what happens when I drop back? Watch his hip, ready? Right there. Now watch this.
My hip stays in the same spot, the rest of my leg starts twisting now.
Making sense? Boopy boppy.
Go through it one more time slowly, or just, you know, just show it, you know.
Point of understanding on this technique, I can enter this in so many different ways. I can come in and just come to here. This is the first step, is biting that here. Right? I'm gonna start climbing up, foot on hip, bring it back. So we went out from the outside. There's a bit of a scramble. I'm gonna push this over. You see how I have it pushed over?
He's not getting up on his elbow, guys. He's tucking his elbow in to trap it and rolling over his shoulder.
And where's my hips now? I'm driving my hips forward, right? And up, and back. So, sight, you've seen sight if you've ever been stacked in a Jiu-Jitsu tatami and you just switch to the opposite arm. I'll show you. Okay, so we're here. He's stacking me, right? I know he's gonna pull that arm out. As soon as he pulls that arm out, I spin to here. Here. And if he doesn't want to give up the hands yet, I'm gonna, see, watch my feet? I'm a monkey. Here.
Oh, it's a neck crank.
My toes go here. Here. Here.
Bad monkey.
It's this big toe. That big toe is what did that. There's just one toe, give me what I need. Right there. He's like, I'm getting out of here. And then I'm gonna bail and I'm gonna come up. Whatever. So that's how we get here. So again, so boom, things go wrong. He pulls his arm out. I shift over. I got my foot trapped behind his head like a sickle.
It's flexed.
Yep. I got my knee lying down, my shin lying down his sternum so that I'm putting a pinch right here. And I don't even need to do this part because I'll show you. Here, the submission's there.
It's the same concept that makes the leg lock work that we just did. 90-degree.
Bring your head up just so that I can, here. Same movement, that's the pit. Derek figured out you can also pin here to get the submission on that. But what's beautiful about this one is that I can gather here, and now I can come through here, shift down, using the Apache leg pin up here too. So Apache leg pin there, Apache leg pin here. Now, so let's say we're going to attack with the Apache, or the scythe armbar. How it might end up being is I might come this way. He's going to clear this elbow out is what he's really thinking about. I'm going to come in and drive through like that. And there's a lot more space between the wrist and my chest to get the submission. If I'm here, remember how the shoulder can come up? Even if I go perfect here, look at that. But if I do this and I pin this shoulder down, yeah, I've got that much more room to go. This really works, go back and I'll say down position. You can be in many different positions to get this. I might even be up here. I might even be sitting right here. But check this out. I'm right here, right? This is a drill I did, I taught my students in Okinawa. We're here, I'd be fighting. He's gonna turn into me and get that elbow to the ground. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna release here, I'm gonna hook and turn my knee to the ground here. Right there, let's show that again real quick. Right there, so he comes in, he shoots through. I turn to here, I'm hugging the snot out of this arm, right here, right? And I'm gonna go all the way through. This is putting, where's the cranking happening now? What hurts?
Everything. Shoulder and elbow. He's twisting the shoulder, and he's cranking that elbow right up against his hip.
Yeah, this is one of those, you know, photo moments where you can really do a really cool submission. So you guys get it? I mean, you can be anywhere with this. You can even be up in here. Make that there. He feels pretty safe. I can also turn this into a shoulder crank right here. I can turn this into a choke here. Drop my knee down. Pull this here. Pull it here. And then again, we can go to the legs. Very versatile. And you can bail fast. You know, you can get out a lot faster than if you're laying on your back. Less points of friction. Making sense? So we probably might be right about here so we can get some detail out of that. Angles. Angles. So he's got it carotid here. His foot, if it stays planted, it really hugs the back of the neck. Really nice. We see it for the control aspect here. Right? See, no, this way goes where get to your knees a little bit. There you go. Here, I can push him away, open things up for something else. But you got control. There's all kinds of things you can do. You know, pulling in. It's just to see how that was literally. I can just use 2 fingers to flip them over for that. That's perfect. So I'm gonna use this position to show. See how I got some space here? He's gonna try to. This is his time to escape, but I'm not gonna let him. What happened here? Well, explain to everybody else what's happening to your arm right now.
My arm is getting squeezed and my shoulder is getting torqued out that way.
When you've had your shoulders taken away from you 3 times each, you learn how to fight with everything else but your hands. So when you actually learn how to do submissions without your hands, it makes it really freaking easy when you get your arms back. You know, and it's really good for MMA. Right, learning how to use your legs for the submissions. So I have trapped here, and my shin is here. See, I got my ball of my foot on the ground, hugging here, and I'm leading with my hip. Like Captain Morgan, you know. Right there, I'm leading with the hip. So there's that arm bar there, right? If he doesn't want to give me the arm bar, I'm gonna give him the choke because everything wraps right around nice and tight. Another thing I can do is I'm gonna come around and I'm gonna grab my foot like this and then step back down, right? In here. Just like that. Another thing you can do, right here, and drive the shin in. So you're just making it work.
So let me get that, show that shin again there, Sean.
So trap, right here, he rolls in, I'm gonna grab the head, and I'm gonna throw my hip forward. So I'm trying to rock my knee over here, but not like this rock my knee. I'm talking, put my knee on the ground with my hip. But I'm going like this, so it's almost like I'm pulling up on, again, a deadlift. Right there. And then we can walk it over, crank there more, drop back. Now he's definitely gonna give me his arm. Right here, but this is the other part, choking with the feet. this is how the feet go. Like this. It's like a gable grip with your feet. And I crank it.
Cool. Questions?
Anything else out of that?
Well, do it one more time, and I know everybody loves seeing Derek, but poor Derek, but just show that, how that, what we want to show is that, show that shin across the front of the trachea there, and how you make it nastier by trapping his shoulder and pulling up on his head.
Here, again, I get deep, nice and tight. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna blossom like a flower, you know what I mean? Like this, but I'm gonna keep the head where it is.
But your real point of contact is that with your right shin right across that throat.
Yep.
Right across there.
And it starts right here.
Blocking my head with his hands, he's not pulling, he's just holding it in place. And that shin is right on my carotid, and when he puts his hips in, it just drives it straight into it.
So hand, and then this one drives like this. So I'm angling his head in, right there. Coming. What's cool about this too is that it's also, if I put my hand right here, it's a shoulder crank. Right there.
His inside of his hip is driving my elbow that way, and he's blocking my wrist, so it's basically a nudie garami.
Crank. That too. So right there, boom, come back, boom. You know, it's not just being here and then reaching, because he can pull back his head and that kind of stuff. It's really coming in, hooking it if I have to, and then driving it back. That's how the right choke works. So if I didn't have them on me, guys, I'm here, I'm gonna reach in right here, and I'm like this. This is the movement. Not like this. Like this. Okay? Try it.